Hey everyone! Welcome back to my channel. In today's video we will be looking at couple of coding questions asked by IBM. In the first question we are given a string that consists of left and right parentheses and we to balance the parentheses by inserting parentheses as necessary. And finally return the minimum number of characters that must be inserted. Let's look out the examples to understand the problem in a better way. In the first example we can see that we need to insert an opening parentheses in order to balance it. Now, let us see how can we approach and find out the number of insertions. If you see we don't really need to insert a parentheses in the string but instead we just need to find number of parentheses needed to balance the string. So, that said we would iterate over the given string s and count the number of opening and closing parentheses but with a small adjustment. Whenever we encounter a closing bracket we check whether we have an opening parentheses present. If we have then we would decrease the count of opening parentheses. Finally we return the sum of count of opening parentheses and closing parentheses. In the second example, we can see that we have two closing parentheses in the beginning of the string and two opening parentheses at the end of the string. The summation of these counters equals to 4. Let us see how to implement this logic in code. I will be using C++ to solve this problem. Here, we already have the basic code structure, so we can focus more on implementing the logic. We need to complete the function named minimum insertions required. We will initialize two integer variables, opening and closing, which keep the count of opening and closing parentheses in the string. We iterate over the string and check if the character C is an opening parenthesis. If it is, we increase the counter opening. If it is a closing parenthesis, we check if the count of opening parentheses is more than 0. If it is, then we decrement its count, else, we increase the count of closing parentheses. Finally, we return the sum of the opening and closing counters. In the second question, we are given a palindrome string that reads the same from left to right, for example, mom. This palindrome string must be modified, if possible. We need to change exactly one character of the string to another character in the range A to Z so that the string meets the following three conditions. The new string is lower alphabetically than the initial string. The new string is the lowest value string alphabetically that can be created from the original palindrome after making only one change. The new string is not a palindrome. Finally, we need to return the new string, or, if it is not possible to create a string meeting the criteria, we return impossible. In the first example, we can see that AAABBAAA is a palindrome. We need to make it alphabetically smaller. A string can be made alphabetically smaller by changing the first non-A character to A in the string. Here, in this string, the first non-A character is B at index 3. This modification meets all three conditions as mentioned in the question. Let's look at how to implement this in code. We have the basic code structure that is provided to us, and we only need to implement the break palindrome function, which returns a string. If the length of the palindrome string is equal to 1, then the string will always be a palindrome irrespective of any change. Hence, we return impossible. If that's not the case, then we iterate over the string and try to find a non-A character in the string. If we find it, then we change it to A and return the modified string. But in case we didn't find a non-A character in the string, then we return impossible. I hope you found this video helpful. For more such explanations, subscribe to my channel. I will be providing the questions and the corresponding code in the comments. Thanks for watching and see you next time.